Hey, welcome to Our News. This is a show about news, current events, different topics about us. It's our news. It's about things that matter to us. But before we get started, I want to give you a really quick disclaimer. This show does not have a lot of budget. And wait, let me rephrase that. That's not accurate. This show does not have a budget at all. So you guys need to cut us some slack, all right? Like, it's not gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be crispy. We're not gonna have special effects and none of that. So, but we're doing the best we can to give you something entertaining, something that's for you, something from the town, for the town, about the town. So if you're into that, cool. Let us know how we're doing. Always, we're open to suggestions. We probably won't listen to you, but we're open to them. And hit us up. We're here in the town with you, and we're gonna talk about issues that are affecting the town, the Bay Area, and just in general, how we as a people affected. So thanks for checking it out, and let's get started. So Our News. What is Our News? What is this show? This show is a funny way of looking at the news, life and topics and things like that. Kind of like a daily show, except for us, for the topics that we care about, for us, by us, like a FUBU of news. That's what this show is about. And the Daily Show, for example, is a great show, but Jon Stewart don't give a damn about you or me, and Trevor Noah, he don't give a damn about the town. Well, maybe Cape Town because he's African, but about Oaktown, he don't. I mean, they're very general. Like, we're gonna talk about really deep topics and issues that affect us as a people and as a community. So hopefully it's funny. Like I said, it's not going to be all gems, so you're gonna have to bear with us, but it's an attempt to create a conversation. By the way, you can hit us up online anytime. You can hit me up, Keu Reyes, on Twitter, or find me anywhere, and I'm gonna respond to you. And let's open a conversation. This is what this is about, and I'm just glad to be here on RTV and doing this show with you because you're part of it. And I want you guys to have a voice in everything that we're doing here. So without further ado, let's get going with the first segment. Yes. This is going to be an incredible episode. It's going to be amazing. I'm really excited about it. And let's not even waste time. Let's go straight into our first segment. What's going on? What's going on? Ooh, what's going on? Yes. So what's going on? Well, California has its first reparations task force. All right, that's big. That's big. I'm gonna explain why. But it's the first in the country to explore possibilities, proposals for reparations. I mean, the reason this is so historically amazing because this is something that's way overdue, and I'm really excited about it. I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm 1/3 black, so I should be getting a little percentage there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. First, we got to get the reparations here. But basically, reparations for the younger kids that probably don't know, or for the people that want to be reminded, there are ways that governments mostly pay back for, tragedies that they cause against a certain group of people. It's not anything new. Reparations has been around forever. The Japanese, after World War II, I think, they got reparations because they were held in internment camps. They were mistreated. It was horrible. So the U.S. government paid them money. Be like, hey, our bad. Here you go. Here's the money. Jewish Americans, and just Jewish people in general. They obviously went through horrible things, and they got reparations, in many forms, especially monetary reparations. So that's great, because I think that gives people a chance to come up. It gives them a way to start fresh and start from not the ground up, but start at a higher level. However, what happened with slavery? Slavery, what happened? Well, first of all, it's not slavery anymore, because they changed it in the textbooks. Now it's called forced labor. It's slavery. Ain't no forced labor, it's slavery. And actually they're trying to change it now to non-union members. It's like, no, they were slaves. They were slaves. Like, let's call it what it is. Let's go, that's how I am. That's how I am. I just want to call it what it is. They're slaves. None of that, they're not part of the group. It's like, no, they're slaves. But anyway, so when the slaves were freed after the Civil War, there was a promise made to give them 40 acres and a mule. And 40 acres, that's a lot of land. And a mule was to help them, start farming and working. And that would have changed the whole game. If the slaves would have gotten the 40 acres and a mule. And can you imagine? I mean, this country would be, it'd be a whole different country. It never happened. It never happened. It was just fake promises. So these slaves were freed. Where are they supposed to go? They don't own anything. So where are they supposed to go to the neighbor's house? Like, where do they go? They don't have a place to go. So they were forced to stay with their slave masters voluntarily. They're like, hey, master, we don't want to go. We have nowhere to go. Please let me stay here. I'll work for free. Just feed me and my family. Like, I have nowhere to go. So that's what that caused. That freedom wasn't really freedom. Now they became volunteer slaves. And it's just sad that it had to be that way. In all these years, this wasn't millions of years ago. This is pretty recent as far as history is concerned. So descendants of slavery come from a very from a place that's not an advantageous place. Let's put it that way. And to this day, you can see the repercussions of that injustice. The Reparations Task Force, this is what's so cool about it, that they're looking into proposing reparations for slave descendants. And that can change the whole game, maybe. Because if, people start buying new Jordans with the reparations money, it could really go another direction. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully this money comes in and people buy land, houses, buy things that are going to create value in their lives. But anyway, before we even get there, the Reparations Task Force is looking into this to propose these laws or a reparations package or something where, descendants of slavery can get this money. But this is the generation to do it. I mean, if it doesn't happen right now, the next generation, it's just over. They don't even know what reparations are. So this is the last generation that I think has a possibility of making things right, especially because the atrocity has never ended. It was turned into something else. It was converted. Employees now, they were the former slaves. Employees now work in order to eat and to live. I mean, what employees is working just because they just want to work for free? They don't want to work for free. They're working and then they get this money, and then the employees go and buy food and they pay their rent, but they own nothing. So reparations can change the whole game. And reparations is, actually, let's go into this animation. We did a show, Caesar and Shui's show, a long time ago about reparations and a possibility of what could happen. And this is years ago, so it's a little outdated, but you get the whole point of it. And this is animation that is made by us, for us. So here we go, let's check it out. Hey, welcome to our show. I'm the capable potential in action, also known as Caesar.
And I'm Quick Draw Chewy. Now 20% more bang for your buck.
Hey, we have a hot show in store. We're gonna play the new video.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hey, Jerome, what are you doing here? We're working right now, and we don't have any money.
Hey, man, did I say I needed some money?
Oh, okay. My bad. And what do you want?
Hey, I need to borrow $20.
You came to the wrong place, Jerome, and you know that. I haven't seen a $20 bill since they were giving them away to the poor people during the Florida primaries.
Come on, guys. My light bill's past due, and my electricity's about to get cut. And I'm broke as hell.
Man, if I was black, I wouldn't be broke. I'd be trying to collect on some reparations.
Reparations? He needs to pay his light bill, not fix his refrigerator. What does he need repairs for?
Reparations are monetary awards that African Americans are owed due to the damages from slavery, Chewy.
Reparations? Yo, I never thought of that.
What do you mean they didn't get anything from slavery? They got plenty of things. They got that series Roots and the color purple, all sorts of good stuff.
Shut up, Chewy. Think about it, Jerome. When slaves were freed, they were promised 40 acres and a mule. Where's that at?
What the hell is he gonna do with a mule? He lives in Compton.
Chewy, you don't get what I'm saying.
You're talking about donkeys, horses, mules? You're so stupid, Caesar.
I'm saying this country's built on the back of slaves and immigrants. There should be some sort of payback. It's only fair.
Yo, you really think they're gonna give away any kind of money? Man, they hardly allow blacks and Latinos in the educational system.
But in the prison system, we're doing fine. We're number one.
That's enough, Chewy. I got a plan.
I got a plan, too.
No, you don't.
Well, you're right, but I just wanted to have my last word, you know.
Well, I'm having the last word.
No, I'm having the last word. I got a plan.
Hey,
I got a plan.
Hey, fellas, let's talk about this money.
So, Caesar, what's that plan to get reparations for Jerome?
Yeah, what's the plan, Caesar? Because if I don't pay my bill, they're gonna cut my lights off any minute.
Well, through the powerful connections that I've been able to make through this network, I was able to get Congressman John Williams to join us via satellite. What's up, Congressman?
I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I have a meeting at the White House and I'm late. The interns are probably jumping out of the cake already. But isn't this a music video show? Someone told me this was the O'Reilly factor.
Hey, here's a factor for you, Congressman. My friend Jerome has some questions about his reparations.
Yeah, like where do I get them?
Yeah, where, Congressman, where?
Reparations for slavery are not fair. I'll put in the form of a question, because that's what we politicians do in order to confuse the uneducated. Basically, you three. Why should I have to pay for something that my great-grandfather did?
Because you're still benefiting from the results of slavery.
Yeah, you, your father, and your grandfather were able to go to college because of the wealth that slavery provided.
Man, Chewy, that was pretty deep.
Yeah, where you learned that?
I watched that movie Malcolm X last night.
Look, it's a lot more complicated than that. Where do you expect us to get the money to pay reparations to everyone claiming to be a slave descendant? And then who's next? The Mexicans? They'd want California and Hawaii back.
Yeah, but didn't you promise us 40 acres and a mule?
I didn't personally know. Not me. I don't believe I did. I'll have to check my schedule.
That's a shame, Congressman.
Yeah, shame on you, shame on you. We didn't land on Congress, the Congress landed on us. Get your hand in my pocket.
I also noticed how you try to take slavery out of the history textbooks, Congressman.
We are not trying to take it out. Hold on now. Look, it's just not politically correct to call them slaves anymore. We rather use the term laborers, servants, or employees, or non-union members. Hey, besides, there were slaves even in the Bible.
Sure, religion, another method of control. How about that, Caesar? That was pretty good, I hope I don't go to hell for that.
You can go back and forth with me, but it truly doesn't matter because reparations will never happen. Why don't you guys go back to watching your music videos and playing your rap and let me go do my job? And speaking of job, try getting one of those. Stop begging for money that doesn't belong to you. You're not going to get reparations, and most likely you're not going to get a job.
Fellas, you'll have to make an appointment next time. You can't just be walking up in Al Sharpton's office like that. But since you're here, what can I do for you?
Well, first you can stop speaking through the bullhorn, Al.
Oh, my bad. Mr. Sharpton, we're here because my friend Jerome is owed some reparations. This about your light bill, ain't it?
It's 2 months past due.
Yep. That's the only time brothers be walking up in here, when they need something. But the minute they cool, they act like they don't know nobody. You want reparations too? Oh, no, I'm Puerto Rican. So? Puerto Ricans is a mix of Spanish, Native American, and black. That means that you get 1/3 of reparations.
Hey, Sharpton, can you hook me up too? I'm Mexican.
Sure. Everybody should get reparations. But I'm not the young Al Sharpton anymore. My hair just doesn't shine like it used to. Reparations are an uphill battle like no other. And what's worse is that once your generation is gone, ain't nobody gonna know there were slaves around. So what do you suggest we do?
Play that Roots movie again?
Well, there is one person in the world that can make it happen.
Do we have to go to the wizard?
You can say that.
Hello!
Hey, Oprah, we need reparations. Fast. Can you make it happen?
I got something better. Look under your chairs!
Reparations! Good looking, Oprah! Man, reparations! Finally!
I'm giving away reparations for all the black and brown people. Under your chairs, reparations, and a mule.
Oh, snap, man! Thanks, Oprah!
Oprah's the best. Cool, we got our reparation checks.
I don't know how to thank you guys for making this happen.
Thank Oprah. She can make anything happen, except maybe sticking to a diet or getting Stedman to marry her.
Hey, wait a minute. Something's wrong.
What's up?
Oh, you're going to tell us something that will make everything that just happened not happen, aren't you?
This isn't a check. It's a bill.
What?
It says here that they did give us reparations, but since slavery was so long ago that a combination of the rate of inflation, taxes, FICA, and shipping and handling ended up making it a negative balance. So now we owe the government money.
What? Man, ain't this about a... Man, that means we're more in debt now than before reparations. It can't get any worse than this.
Man, your life sucks, Jerome.
What, 'cause I'm black?
Hey, I'm Puerto Rican and my life sucks too.
Well, that means at least 1/3 of your life sucks. My life sucks too, 'cause I'm Mexican, doesn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Well, at least we got something to look forward to. We got to pay back the Iraq War.
So yes, I hope you enjoy that. That was actually animated by Alfonso Amy, super dope animator from the Bay, and we did a lot of these kind of animations. And you know what's funny about animation? Just kind of jumping in a weird subject, is that we don't have our voices on there. We don't have Black and Latino voices in animation. You know, you might have a Black or Latino animator working here or there, but I'm talking about telling our stories, you know. But that's a whole nother episode. On this episode, we're gonna go back to the reparations, because reparations is not just about a racial issue. There's other atrocities that have happened to people that need reparations. For example, let me show you this clip that is just sad. This man spent years in prison, and he was innocent. Check it out.
I know freedom is fresh.
It's precious. Freedom is precious, you know.
Lewis Taylor is savoring his first 24 hours of freedom. We sat down for a face-to-face interview with Taylor and his attorney, Ed Novak. His freedom is new. His emotions are raw.
You know, I did 41 years of my life, you know, for something I didn't do. It was shameful. It was shameful what they did to me.
There's a lot of life that you missed being in prison.
Yeah, I don't even know how to drive a car. And it ain't supposed to happen in America, you know. It's supposed to have the best justice system in the world. How did I fall in the cracks for 42 years?
He's free, he says, because the Arizona Justice Project and 60 Minutes uncovered evidence of a shoddy investigation, suppression of evidence, and racial bias.
The world knows I'm innocent. They should know I'm innocent. I am innocent. No contest.
Yesterday, Taylor pled no contest to 28 counts of murder and was immediately released. Proving his innocence would have required another trial. The Pima County prosecutor says his release doesn't mean exoneration. His conviction still stands. Why not go forward with another trial and completely clear his
We
name?
would have done that, but the Pima County Attorney's Office said that they would fight the petition for post-conviction relief all the way to the Supreme Court. It would have meant another 2, 3, 4 years of incarceration for Lewis.
You know, I didn't want to go against my principles, but I didn't have no choice. How should I give him another minute, another hour, another decade in prison for something I didn't do? You know, I wanted my freedom.
In 1970, on the night of the Pioneer Hotel fire, 16-year-old Lewis Taylor was helping people escape. You were considered a hero that night.
Yeah, but they changed it all because of the color of my skin. You know, I hate to say that, you know, especially It was the little colored boy, the Negro boy. And they singled me out. How does that happen in America when we're supposed to have one of the best justice systems in the world? Can somebody explain that to me? Nobody can explain that to me.
Taylor says he intends to spend the rest of his days just living and doing good things. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Phoenix.
Wow, wow, wow. I mean, I can watch that a million times and still feel the same way. I mean, that man deserves reparations like yesterday, and hopefully he did. But that's what reparations are about. It's just trying to fix the damage done by some injustice like this. And our slaves never got that chance. And it's not that the money changes anything, because that man lost 42 years. There's no amount of money that's gonna bring those years back. But let him have the last few years of his life to be the best that he can live. And that's what reparations are about. It's about repairing the damage. Slaves never had the chance. The promises were not kept. It was all a big scheme to free them, but really, is it really freedom if you have nowhere to go, if you don't have food, if you don't have culture, you don't even have an identity? Like, where are you going? So that's what reparations are a necessity, and a lot of people can benefit from a little push, a little bit of a help out, a helping hand. Because one thing that not having reparations created has been the welfare system, right? Because the welfare system is another form of slavery. Now, if you're on welfare, you better not make any money, because then you're gonna be out, right? If you make a little bit of money and you're on welfare, you're out of the program, you're out of the system. So it keeps people not being able to better themselves because they can't afford to get kicked out of the system. Because what are you gonna do? You get a part-time job. You make a little bit of money. That's not enough to pay your rent and your bills, but now you're out of the system. Now you can't afford to live on this little bit of a part-time job. So you can't work, so it's another form of slavery. And instead of the welfare system of saying, hey, you get a part-time, that's great. We're still gonna help you out while you still come up, because maybe that part-time turns into a full-time. Next thing you know, you got a full-blown job and you're doing great. You don't even need to be in the system. But it doesn't allow for that to happen. That's another form of, because some people say that that's reparations, when really, that's not really reparations. That's you keeping people bottled in, and then you're not giving them options. You're not giving them options to get out of the system. And you're penalizing them for trying to get out of the system. And it shouldn't be that way. It should be like, you get a part-time, we're gonna match that. How much you making? We're gonna match that. So keep going, but it doesn't work that way. And there's some people that unfortunately are against reparations. They just don't want it. And and you could be one of those people. That's why I'm trying to explain to you why reparations are important. Now, maybe you are one of those people that is against it, and you're saying, why do I have to pay for what my great-grandfather did? I had nothing to do with that. I wasn't around during slavery. It's like, but you have benefited from the wealth that slavery created in this country. I mean, buildings that were built, you go into these government buildings that were built by slaves, the White House, all of these historic buildings, and you benefit from the infrastructure, and you benefit from the wealth. Some of the universities were created with slave labor, and you go to these universities and you get educated there, and you're able to afford all of this. That's thanks to slavery. The Pilgrims were not going to make it without slaves. They were not going to make it. They were not. Slaves built the country, and immigrants keep it running, because another form of slavery is this immigrant labor. Immigrants get mistreated. They come here from another country because they don't have any other option. They come here, they pick fruits. They get up at 4 a.m. They're out there in the cold picking fruit and vegetables and food and working in meat plants and factories, and they're doing all of this work for really minimum pay. If that, they don't get any of the benefits of doing the work. They don't get taxes back. They don't get to go to the hospital, and they don't get vacation, sick time. They don't get any benefit from doing that labor. So they keep this country running, because if immigrants were not here, then this country would be paralyzed. We wouldn't have a lot of the grocery stores would be empty. So slaves built the country, immigrants keep it running, yet reparations is like, oh no, I have nothing to do with that. It's like, well, you're benefiting from everything that these injustices have done and continue to do, because slave descendants have never had a fair chance to really get up. They never had it. So what happened? They were forced to just live for free, work for free for their masters. And now it's just working for a little bit of money from the masters. It's just, there's no difference. But anyway, I went too deep in there. But let's go back. Let's get back into something a little bit more, not like this, right? So let's talk about our TV and why this channel is important, why this channel is a great way to connect. By the way, you can hit me up on Twitter, Keu Reyes, and if you don't agree with anything that I'm saying, I really don't care, but I'll respond to you. But it's really about connecting, about opening these conversations with people that agree or disagree. And a lot of the topics that we're going to touch in this program are about these uncomfortable conversations that need to be had. So, but our TV, what I like about the town in general, just Oakland and the Bay Area, is that I feel like people here are more united than other areas. LA, for example, is black people here, Mexicans here, Salvadorians there, Chinese there, people from Thailand over there, Armenians over here. It's segregated. It's the most racist thing you can see. And some of them have signs, Thai town, and obviously everywhere there's a Chinatown, but over here, they have signs dividing, who lives where. Poor people here, rich people here. It's very segregated. And what I love about the Bay is that you can live next to anybody, and everybody is a Raider fan. And if you're not, and you have your reasons, you should be, because the Raiders will come back to Oakland. They will come back. I'm gonna write this down. Mark my words. The Raiders will come back to Oakland. Our TV doesn't happen by magic. There's people behind it. One of the persons that is behind it is here with us now. We're going to talk to him. And, he's the founder of the Black Comedy Competition. He's a legend in the comedy world, especially in the black comedy world, that it's a whole different world than the mainstream world. That's a whole nother episode. But we're going to talk right now with Tony Spires. Tony, what's good? What's happening?
I'm good, man. I'm enjoying life and happy to be here, brother. Happy to be here. Let's get it started, man. Let's talk about something.
Yeah, let's talk about our TV, because our TV's been around, but now that you have come involved with it, Marcus King, it's changing, and I see where it's going, and I love it. Like, can you tell us a little bit about how did you become involved, and where are you taking this?
Well, man, it all started with myself, as you mentioned, my colleague and partner Marcus King, several other brothers, Lionel B., prominent black promoter, Henry Royal, another prominent black promoter, also a limousine company owner, Kyle Newport, another prominent black promoter, Jeffrey Peake, prominent club owner in Oakland. We all got together and formed an organization called Oakland Business Collective.
Okay.
And I had the bright idea, since we got all these prominent OGs in the building, why not let's do something historic? Let's do something really meaningful and powerful and positive. I said, we need to get a TV channel. And everybody's like, okay, but how do we do that? So it was suggested that we look into our TV, which is a fledgling, was and is a fledgling TV channel, Comcast TV channel.
Hold up. What's fledgling? What? You gotta bring it down for me a little bit. I'm just wearing a tie. I ain't really the tie guy.
Fledgling, like trying to get it started, trying to be the jump off, trying to,
Got
Make
it.
it happen.
Got it. So, like a startup kind of thing.
Right. Well, it wasn't a startup because it's been around for like 18 years. So it's about 19 years now.
So how is it? Well, okay, got it. I'm not gonna install the channel or nothing. All right, got it.
Give you the background of.
So was it around Sobe? I mean, when Sobe was around, was our TV around?
Actually, interesting story. Interesting and kind of tragic, kind of like tragic in a sense too. Because if you being a former personality on Soul Beat, I'm sure you remember prominent Bay Area journalist Chanty Bailey.
Yes.
Well, Chanty was the creator, the original founder of our TV.
Wow.
Once the Soul Beat thing, for whatever reason, kind of spun out, I think the rumor was that Chanty wanted to go in a certain direction, and maybe Chuck and the channel weren't going in that same direction. So Chanty had an idea of trying to do a more community news-oriented platform. Okay. So he got together with another brother by the name of Leonard Stevens, who's still involved today. The tragic part, as you probably know, is that Chanty Bailey was murdered in the field while covering a story. Yeah. Right in Oakland on 14th Street, and I believe 14th and Alice, somewhere in that general vicinity, he was murdered. So, and that's a very tragic story, and that's for another time, I guess. But his partner, Leonard Stevens, picked up the gauntlet and kept it going, right? He picked up the mantle and kept it going. So the channel exists, and it's funny because a lot of people in Oakland don't even know that the channel is there. The channel exists, but a lot of people don't know it exists.
Why is that? Why not? Why?
I think it's that's an interesting. I think that's a
little bit even if by mistake, you should be running into it, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like these phones. When you flip to the channel which is channel 78, when you click to the channel, maybe you saw a reflection of yourself and you just kept your thumb moving. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know, man. But for some reason, the average person in Oakland to this date does not know that our TV even exists. So,
do you need cable, or is it just it's over the air?
It's cable. It's a Comcast Xfinity channel.
Okay.
So it's there. It's legitimately there. So, but for some reason, it has remained mostly obscure all these years, so almost 2 decades. So I thought about it. I said, this is the perfect opportunity for myself and my colleagues, primarily myself and Marcus King, to get together and use all of our skill sets, because we're filmmakers, TV producers, entertainment gurus, if you will. And we said, why not put those skills to use locally in the town where we all kind of got our start, right? So I approached the owner, Leonard Stevens, and made him an offer. We hoped he wouldn't refuse. And we worked it out. It took about 2 years to actually work it out. But we actually came to an agreement and an understanding. And now here we are, again, Oakland Business Collective, primarily Marcus King and myself. Marcus King has a vast background in television and film. And we got together and decided that we would handle the program, in this case, the reprogramming of the channel. And we would we would also produce original shows, such as the one that we're on right now. We would produce original shows. We would acquire existing shows, acquire brand new shows, and we would put them all in the gumbo pot, stir them up, and program the channel, reprogram the channel, and relaunch the channel and rebrand the channel under the moniker, the new Our TV, the new Our TV. And by the new part, it's kind of like, well, we're coming, the channel has been primarily community oriented and has been kind of in the faith-based community. It's been very prominent in the faith-based community. Even though we're going to still keep that faith-based voice primarily on Sunday, and we're going to keep the community voice as much as possible, we're really expanding into more of a commercial aspect of the channel with premium content from the local perspective and around the country. So
and opportunities for people that maybe want to invest into this project, or even sponsor or maybe promote their product. Is that where you're going?
I would say primarily to sponsor, to advertise your product on a particular show or group of shows or time block, or to sponsor and just basically, this is your show brought to you by, and it's your company. We the idea is to not only help brand a business or help get eyeballs on a particular product, but also to connect the community, join the city of Oakland primarily with the channel. So like in the spirit of Chuck Johnson and Soul Beat made stars out of everyday people, not only the host, but the people who advertised on the channel. Every mom and pop in Oakland primarily were on Soul Beat advertising their product. And so people became not only household faces, but their companies became household names. And it just became one, it became one with the community. So that's our goal.
I remember Night Dog, Lil Nell got her start there on Soul Beat.
Keu Reyes.
Keu Reyes. I was there. A lot of animation that we did on there. And I remember also, Wanks Up the Hook Sauce. It's Up the Hook Boss. I remember, you know what you got to get? You got to get Scotty's check cashing on our TV. Scotty, if you're watching this is the place where people, are people still cashing checks? I don't know.
Scotty's still alive?
I hope so. Is Scotty out there? Scotty, hit us up. Hey, Scotty, I want to interview you. Like, Scotty is like a legend. Like, I mean, you know how many checks he cashed? He cashed thousands of checks. That's what I mean. I don't know with direct deposit, how that has affected the check cashing business, but
well, do they even have checks anymore?
No, now you take your direct deposit to them.
Right.
You still get a fifth of Hennessy for every fifth check cash. You still get that.
Receiver of your check in case you're not, for whatever reason, you can't receive your own money. That's funny, Q.
Well, if you don't have an account, you can get your direct deposit into Scotty's account, and he'll just go ahead and
Scotty's check cashing and financial services.
Expanding. The Oakland is always expanding.
And so we provided that kind of vehicle, that kind of push. So with the new Our TV, our goal is to do the same thing, but to have a mix, because while Chuck primarily focused on mom and pop and local advertisers, we also are aspiring to connect with the corporate community and to bring them into the fold as well, and the public utilities, and just kind of make it a broad culmination of what Chuck was doing, what Leonard and Chauncey set out to do, and the vision that myself and my partners have as well.
I love it, man. This could be great, and I love the fact that it's for the town, by the town. I was calling it earlier the FUBU of channels. Like this is like it's our TV, our content, and right. No one else is gonna do that. BET is a corporate entity now. It used to be Black Entertainment Television. I think now it's just entertainment television. It's not really, it's not there. There's nothing else.
It is, man. It is, man. So we have, because the conversation that Marcus King and I often have is that this becomes our sandbox. As longtime producers of TV and film and content in general, at the end of the day, you normally have to submit your project to another power that be, to a distributor, if you will, or some other outlet. But in this case, we're the distributor, if you like. We're the outlet. So we get to make our own productions, our own content, our own shows. I mean, we've already made a show featuring Oakland luminary, Oakland star, Mr. Fab. We have a show called The Unk and Fab Show, which features Fab, a rapping superstar, a local icon, a very prominent person in the community, has his own store, Dope Era Store. And we put together a groundbreaking show featuring Unk, his sidekick, and Fab himself in a format that hasn't even been attempted before. So not only is the channel our sandbox, it's our laboratory. We have another show that we filmed with a very popular radio personality, Zoe Williams, who's a relationship guru. And his show was called Situation Shift with Zoe Williams. And so, and I believe a gentleman by the name of Keu Reyes guest starred on that particular show.
Yeah, I was in that show.
Yeah.
That man, his eyes, man. Like, I'm serious. Like, I'm to this day, it's traumatized me. When you'll see the show, or Google him, Zoe Williams, and be careful, because once you look in there, you're trapped.
He's still mad at you, Q. He's still mad at you.
He can't be mad because that's how God made him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a collection of amazed and envious. Because if I had those eyes, I would have every girl in the planet. Can you imagine having light eyes in high school? Oof, like you couldn't miss. Teachers, everybody can get it. Lunch ladies, everybody. Man, but I'm so proud that you're doing this, because I think that you've reached a level in your career where you can actually go anywhere, and then you always continue to go back, especially to the Bay Area, to Oakland, and give back. I mean, you don't have to hold the Black comedy competition in the Bay Area. You really don't. It's established enough where you can go to Atlanta, you can go to New York, you can go to anywhere, and you continue to keep it in a place where people appreciate it, because people really, really love it, and they love what you do. So thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for doing this Our TV. You know, and I know you're already making waves, and this is going to make a lot of waves. And by the way, corporate sponsors, Coca-Cola, all of those. You think Coca-Cola's watching this? I don't know, but if you're watching it, this is a channel to put your money on. At least put your money on my show.
You're right. No, you're right, man. You're right, man. And I just want to encourage the people. I want to encourage the people to not, if you're local in Oakland, it's channel 7, Comcast channel 78. But the channel is also available on all streaming platforms, including Roku, including Prime Video, including Apple TV, and others. Also, it's available through getting the app on your phone. You can download the app from the App Store. You can watch it on Our TV .tv or OurTV78.com. There are many ways to watch it. You can watch this channel worldwide and check out all of our original content. It's coming. We haven't put all of Oakland Business Collective, Marcus King and myself, our content does not dominate the channel yet, but we're slowly but surely putting our content on the channel. Right now, we're on Tuesdays from 8 to 12 on Tuesday, 8 to 12 on Wednesday, 8 to 12 on Thursday, and 8 to 12 on Sunday. But we're coming. We're slowly but surely adding more content, something for everybody, from the risque and the ratchet to the intellectual and the religious. So we want you to check it out, enjoy yourself, give us feedback, give us comments, follow us on social media, Our TV 78, Our TV Oakland. Check us out, man. It's going down.
Thank you so much. So this is the end of the show. So this is what an episode looks like. Like I told you, everybody, you got to cut us some slack. You know, we don't have special effects, and we don't have 20,000 people working behind the scenes and all of that. So this is what we have. But I hope you enjoyed it, and tune in every week. We're gonna be here speaking on topics that are difficult, but we're gonna make them funny. So thank you so much for being here. Make sure you follow Our TV on social media, Our TV altogether, or Keu Reyes, Qreyes on Twitter. You can hit me up. If you don't agree with anything that I said today, I really don't care, but you can still hit me up, and we can chat about it. So until next time, peace.